So if you're Joe Biden standing for re-election at the age of 81, the obvious question is, what exactly are you going to run on? You're not going to run on the state of the economy. You're not going to run on the state of the world, which is increasingly chaotic. You're not going to run on lengthening life expectancy, because actually life expectancy is declining in the United States under his watch. So what are you going to run on? Well, you're going to run against. And the main thing Biden is going to run against is Christianity, running against Christianity. He's already put people in prison for praying, so it's not a stretch.
That's simply not true that Joe Biden arrested people for praying. Prior to having his own network, Tucker Carlson used to work for Fox News. It says right here, pro-life activist facing up to 11 years in prison. A pro-life activist could face over 10 years in prison after a Tennessee court found him and 5 other activities guilty of violating federal law for protesting at an abortion clinic in 2021. It continues to say that the FACE Act, as signed by Bill Clinton, makes it a federal crime and actually go up to jail time when a person threatens to injure, intimidate, or interfere with a person seeking reproductive health services. Even by the standards of the report by Fox News, it was a federal crime prior to Joe Biden actually being in office. Another example of what people point to as an attack against Christianity by Joe Biden is the whole entire Transgender Day that occurred this year. However, they celebrated the Transgender Day and Easter this year in the same White House, and so prior to the other years of the Transgender Day, they would also celebrate Easter that particular day and year, and also Transgender Day on every other year. It makes no sense to say that Joe Biden is attacking Christianity, considering he himself is actually a Catholic.
But of course, you're not going to say I'm running against Christianity, the world's largest religion. You're going to say I'm running against something called Christian nationalism, which was a way of making traditional Christianity seem like a threat to the country rather than the principle upon which it was founded. So that is their plan.
There's a difference between practicing Christianity and being a Christian nationalist. A Christian nationalist, as defined by Britannica, is an ideology that seeks to create or maintain a legal fusion of Christian religion with a nation's characters. Advocates of Christian nationalism consider their view of Christianity to be an integral part of their country's identity and want the government to promote or even enforce the religion's position within it. I'm going to give you guys at least 5 different examples of Christian nationalism in our country. The state of Texas and Florida have passed bills to have chaplains in public schools. Now, there are other states such as Utah, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Atlanta, Georgia, my state, Maryland, that basically want to have, introduce bills for chaplains in our schools too. In the state of Louisiana, they want to have the 10 Commandments in public schools. In the state of Oklahoma, they cited the Bible in favor of corporal punishment. The Alabama Supreme Court cited the Bible for the main reason why they're against the notion of IVF. Now, Carlson has stated that our country was founded on Christianity, and that's not simply true. The Treaty of Tripoli literally says that we're not founded on the Christian religion. It's not a requirement to use the Bible to swear in office. The First Amendment has the Establishment Clause. Some of you guys probably might be thinking it's actually a good idea to merge church and state together in elementary schools. To which I will say this. Every single last one of us have different backgrounds when it comes down to religious beliefs. And because parents have different backgrounds, their expectations is that basically when they send their kid to school, that more or less they have a neutral learning environment. This includes reading, math, gym, art, literature, and science. If they want to teach their kids about theological issues, they can do it on their own free time, at their own local place of worship, or at their own house. If a teacher or a series of teachers bleach that contract, that will mean that they actually lost the trust of the parents to actually properly educate their kids. I mean, think about it. Why else would they want chaplains in schools unless they want to convert their kids and make sure that the kids and their parents actually don't know what they're getting into?
And in this, they have the full cooperation of Hollywood and the media outlets, which are whipping up the population to a frenzy over this threat called Christian nationalism. Well, most of us, even those of us who pay some attention, aren't really sure what Christian nationalism is. Is it a product of what it sounds like, which is some branding meeting in the basement of the DNC designed to make Christians seem really scary if they believe in God?
As I stated before, advocates of Christian nationalism consider their view of Christianity to be an integral part of the United States and want the government to promote or even enforce the religion position within it. In short, this video that was done by Tucker Carlson was full of misinformation. He lied about the foundation of our country. He lied about a person being arrested for praying. He's incredibly obtuse about the definition of Christian nationalism. But given he doesn't buy into the ideas of evolution, I'm not necessarily surprised.